Okay, let's start this. All right. Well, I was going to do the vlog intro, though. That was weird. What's up, everybody? GrimmGreen back here today. Thank you so much for joining me again. We're going to be streaming here for another freaking episode of Tuesday, Bro Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. We're going to try to keep this fun. We're going to try to keep this upbeat. I'm just trying to change my attitude. You know, I'm trying to change my mindset a little bit. It's real easy to just be mad, you know, and get mad when you read things and be mad at the things that you're reading and be mad at the people that are talking and the things that you're seeing. Got to try to change your mindset a little bit. You know, what's the old saying? You win more flies with honey. Do you want to win flies though? I feel like that saying isn't really super applicable. You want to win flies with money? No, you win flies with honey. You win flies with honey. You get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And I think that mindset of trying to approach issues and approach things and approach articles and approach people and approach situations with a little bit more calmness, you know, trying to be a little bit more calm. You know, we're all stuck at home together, right? We're all kind of stuck at home together. How are you guys doing? It's easy to get, it's easy to get frustrated and irritated. It's real easy, when we're locked indoors. And it's a huge adjustment. It's a huge, weird adjustment. And, I always say this, like, I love having my wife here. She's my fantastic person. But there's a little bit of an adjustment with having her here at home and the house and what we're doing. And it's easy to get on each other's nerves. And just being indoors and being inside for this long. I mean, I'm on day 20. We're on day 20 of quarantine. So I hope you guys are holding up okay. Catch flies with honey. So if you want to catch flies, thank you, Danielle. You attract more flies with honey than with vinegar. And that's kind of where I'm at. If I'm wanting to attract some flies, and I'm wanting to attract some flies with honey instead of vinegar. Sometimes I get a little bit ranty. We all get a little bit ranty. We're going to do some super chats in just a second. If you have anything you want to say, get in there about Governor Andrew Cuomo. Feel free to get that in there as well, because we're going to be talking about him a little bit later on, and not in a negative way. This isn't going to be, again, changing your mindset. This isn't going to be like rag on Andrew Cuomo today. We're not just going to tear into Andrew Cuomo today. We're going to be a little bit of adults about this. Nick, I need your inside track with Dixon. Someone keeps hoarding my size. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, light bearer. I can never get my size. This isn't a Dixon. I'm wearing joggers and a Target flannel today. But that's part of that mindset. Like, I don't want to just attack Governor Cuomo. I don't want to. And I get on my YouTube all the time, and I've done it in the past. And you get ranty and you start yelling and you just get so mad. And I get so mad at people like the Surgeon General. You get so mad, you get so angry at Jerome Adams that you're just, you're like, fuck that guy. fucking hate Jerome Adams. Hate him. You know, and I even see it's like, oh, I hate Cuomo. I hate him. It's like, I don't hate Cuomo, and I'm trying to say his name correctly. What's up to you, Blazing Vape 75? Welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to be talking about some America stuff. We're going to be talking about the colonies today. So I apologize to all of my international viewers, anybody in England or anywhere else in the world that is sick to death about hearing about this stuff. We're going to be talking a little bit about COVID, a little bit about vaping, a little bit about Andrew Cuomo. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And we're going to be trying to come at some of this stuff in a little bit more positive of a mindset, you know, a little bit more positive. You know, that's the only way I can think of it. Positive. I would love, we'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there, but I would love to have Andrew Cuomo on my side. And today has been a really great day. I had a great morning. You know, me and Pickle being at home here in our quarantine, we've got a great, routine going on. We've been getting up at a reasonable time, you know, making the most of our day. She has to work. I have to work. Her being here kind of helps me stay a little bit more focused and not get so like, well, I'm answering emails, but I definitely want to go watch that YouTube video for the next 20 minutes. You know, keeps me a little bit more focused, like that. But we've got a good little routine, and I've been having a great day, and we had some coffee this morning, and I'm like, I'm going to shoot a video today. So I shot some video today, and I was in a really great mood. And then you just start reading stuff, and you start seeing, it's like it took me literally like 10 minutes, maybe less, on Facebook before I was just fucking pissed, just angry beyond repair. You just go, come on. Like, you start reading these articles, and you're like, come. This was posted on Facebook. Another doctor, Brent posted this, another doctor telling you not to vape because of COVID. I don't know if I play this on here. Do you think does the sound come through? No, the sound's not going to come through. Plus, I don't even have that set up. Damn it. There's some doctor on Fox News talking about, and look, this doctor on Fox News is making real sound, otherwise sound advice, you know, talking about how overwhelmed they are, talking about the medical supplies and the medical equipment they need, you know, talking about please stay home and don't go out and you know, social distancing and wash your hands, and we got to flatten the curve, and we're all in this together, and, you know, people that are more susceptible to it shouldn't be going out, and smokers especially. She's like, if you're smoking, you should definitely quit smoking, and vaping. If you're vaping, you should quit vaping because, those lung injuries, you know, if vapors, see, this is the correlation that they're making. They're not saying that vaping you're less or more susceptible to COVID. What they're doing is making the association with vaping and those lung injuries. So now this doctor was saying, you know, vapors, because of those lung injuries, they have compromised lung health. So vapors should definitely quit vaping, and smokers should definitely quit smoking. Man, I mean, what do you do when you watch that video? What do you do? Knowing what we know, going through what we have gone through, getting into Twitter wars, being advocates, going to rallies, going to flavor ban hearings, holding protest signs, reading the science, following the science, to see a doctor on television in the middle of a pandemic. She's trying to give people advice so they stay safe, you know, so they stay healthy. That's a big thing, too, with Jerome Adams and the World Health Organization and the masks. And I'm not a mask specialist. Matt Cully, who might be live right now, he is the mask specialist. I need Matt here to talk about the masks. So unbelievably frustrating. During a pandemic right now, when people are really, literally relying on the news and relying on this information from organizations like the World Health Organization, from organizations like the CDC, we're looking to doctors and nurses and healthcare workers, which, they've just been working into the ground. They will never get enough credit for the work that they're doing right now. We could have National Healthcare Worker Day as a national holiday, and 50 years from now, people would still be talking about all the healthcare workers during COVID 2020, you know? They're really doing everything they can. And then you have this doctor who just goes on TV and tells people to quit vaping. You should definitely quit vaping. Because of not nicotine. No nicotine was mentioned. No flavor was mentioned. No youth epidemic for once was mentioned. They didn't mention any of that stuff. She just made the association between all these lung injuries. You guys remember the lung injuries from not too long ago? Remember how we associated these lung injuries with vaping? And how all these people have compromised lungs now? That's all we need to bring up. Oh, vaping and those lung injuries, compromised lungs, COVID-19. It all kind of fits together a little too well. But they're not saying anything about flavors for once. It makes me insane. I don't know that I need to tell you guys this. I feel like the majority of anybody watching this live stream now or watching this possibly on a replay, I feel like I don't have to tell you that there's no evidence that shows any of that. There's no evidence that either way that vaping makes COVID-19 worse or less contagious, that you have your higher susceptibility to getting it. There's just no data. There's zero science. So when you see Jerome Adams doing it, saying that vaping, his super cottonmouth Jerome Adams on national television going vaping. Gretchen Whitmer, she said the same thing over there in Michigan. It's unbelievable. Don't make it political now, please. Look, you can't not make it political. Governor Gretchen Whitmer doing the same thing, talking about making that association between Italy and between the United States. Oh, well, the United States has a disproportionately large amount of vapors and Italy has a disproportionately large amount of vapors. No, you guys are looking at the wrong numbers. You guys are looking at the wrong numbers. We'll get there. We'll get there in a second when we start talking about Cuomo. It just takes the wind out of your sails. You could be having a real great day and be really positive, and hanging out. And I had my wife's homemade chili for lunch. I mean, good God, that's a good day. Good God, that's a good day. And then 5 minutes into Facebook, I got doctors telling me that I should quit vaping because of COVID. Yeah, hashtag mouth sounds. Hashtag like sticky, dry, General Adams, Surgeon General Jerome Adams, mouth sounds. And you can even, and I mentioned this last week in the vlog too, but if you go back and you watch that clip of him on the Today Show, and he takes this big pause before he says vaping, and he awkwardly says vaping. It's almost like he doesn't want to be saying it, It's really bizarre the way he awkwardly stumbles through saying vaping, It's one of those, as it's coming out of his mouth, you can see the gears turning in his head going, you think anyone's going to buy this? You think anyone's going to buy this? And and Jerome Adams is doubling down. And like I said, look, we're going to get to these super chats in a second. I'm not here to be the mask guy. That is Matt Culley's job. He's taken up that job as being the mask guy. If you want to know about masks, then I'll give you a quick taste. We'll give you a quick taste. Something else that upset me today, and then Matt's tweet as well. So I have this. Here it is. I also, on Tuesday Bro Tuesday, don't do any sort of vape buffet, although I will say this is what I'm vaping today. It's a goat, one of one goat Hexome with the shiny blue recoil, original recipe recoil. I've got one of my patrons' DIY mixes. This is Peach Among Worlds from Mr. Sifu Mustache. It's just delicious. Just been vaping it like crazy. It's been very satisfying. It's been very nice. Not even thinking about it. I wonder which mod I'm going to grab or which, Hexome recoil. That's Hexome recoil. I also have a Kent story I want to tell you, but right now I'm going to talk about something that makes me upset. And this is one of the things that just made me upset. And it's maybe we do need to approach the Surgeon General the same way. Maybe we need to approach the Surgeon General with a little bit more, God. And it's the high road and it sucks. With a little bit more compassion, a little bit more understanding, and a little bit more like, look, we're trying to be reasonable. I feel like you could try to be reasonable. Let's just take everything out of this and look at cold, hard data. Here's some education around this. I feel like Cuomo, the Surgeon General, is not an unreasonable man. He's not an unreasonable person, but there's just something that upset me. You go on Twitter and you see the Surgeon General right here. World Health Organization stands by recommendation to not wear masks if you are not sick or not caring for someone who is sick. CNN News from the Surgeon General. And it was also the Surgeon General. We can't let him forget that he said that COVID-19 was no big deal. He said he was not worried about it. Also conflated the lung injuries with legal nicotine vaping. We can't let him forget about that. World Health Organization stands. Should we wear masks? Should we not wear masks? This should not even be like a gray area here. Especially when it's I don't think I'm going to an extreme or being alarmist when I say it's like a life and death issue. And a lot of people that are going to get this, they're going to get it and they're going to go through the course of this virus and it's going to suck for them, but they'll be okay. And a lot of people are going to get this virus and they're going to run through the course of it and it's not going to be so good for them and they're going to die. There's refrigerated trucks in New York City that are just dead bodies. It is literally a life and death situation. And in a life and death situation, and we're looking for information, what can we do to protect ourselves? It should be very clearly communicated by the powers that be. This. Masks. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Whatever. Social distancing. Very, very clear directions. And they're just not. And the fact that there's even the discussion going on of whether or not we should wear masks or whether masks actually make it worse. And people keep telling me, masks make it worse. If you have a mask on and you cough and all the, virus is just going to be in there. Oh no, if you have a mask on and you cough, the virus is going to be on the outside. It stays on the outside of the mask. If you touch the mask, other things like this. People are saying, if you don't have COVID and you wear the mask and someone else has it, it can stay on your mask and you otherwise would not have contracted it because you're wearing a mask. This should be clear, concise information, not, 20 days into a quarantine, the Surgeon General still causing this controversy. Nope, the World Health Organization, in spite of everything you've heard, the World Health Organization that said that e-liquid was highly flammable. The Surgeon General, the World Health Organization, Andrew Cuomo, they've all said things in the past about vaping that are just straight up freaking ridiculous. Just straight up freaking ridiculous. There should be no confusion about masks. I feel like, how did we even get here? How did this happen? The World Health Organization, no masks. And everyone else is saying, yes, use masks. Then the World Health Organization says, okay, masks. And then the World Health Organization says, no, just kidding. JK, LOL, no masks. If you're not sick or not caring for someone who is sick, don't wear a mask. So all my delivery drivers who are wearing masks, the next time they drive up here, I'm going to reprimand them. I'm going to say, hey, according to the World Health Organization, unless you're sick or caring for someone who's sick, you shouldn't be wearing a mask. Now, are they saying this because there's just not enough masks to go around and they want to save masks, like ventilators and respirators for the people who do desperately need them and not for people that don't? Is that why there's a limited supply of masks? Yeah, e-liquid was flammable according to the World Health Organization. Look, I can't vouch for their, credibility any more than you can, but they did. They said, not just flammable. This is my favorite part. Every time I bring up the World Health Organization and them mentioning that e-liquid was flammable, they didn't just say that it was flammable. They said it was highly flammable. Highly flammable e-liquids. So we did some rudimentary science on the vlog. Turns out, not. Not flammable. Is that why they're doing it, Danielle Jones? Just because there's not enough masks? Just because there's not enough masks. The market should be, how are we not creating more masks? It's like, how hard is that to create a mask? We should have all sorts of masks. I saw a picture on the internet of a lady with a sponge taped to her face. Even if that were the reason that there's not enough masks, wouldn't the truth just work just as well instead of the World Health Organization saying, don't wear masks if you're not sick or caring for someone who is sick? Wouldn't more effective communication be, look, we don't have enough masks. We just don't. We want to make sure that the people that need the masks have all the masks that they need, and other people who are not as susceptible to this disease, who are in healthier condition, have a healthier immune system, healthier lungs, we're going to take your masks and give them to the people that need the masks, and then you can just stay indoors until there's more masks available, and then we can all have masks. That is everything. That's the whole argument. That's all in one. Didn't work with toilet paper. Okay, well, here's the thing. You don't need toilet paper. The amount of money that people spent on toilet paper, you could have purchased a permanent bidet in your house. There's just little attachments even for your toilet. Say goodbye to toilet paper altogether. Have little sprinkler of water underneath your little butt. Just spray all the little poops off your little butt. And then no more toilet paper. Costs less than the cost of what some people are putting in toilet paper. So, that's just one thing. That's just one thing that upset me. Here, let me tell you the Kent story after we get to the super chats, because I do want to get these super chats. I saw a bunch of them come in. We're going to do a bunch of these super chats. Oh yeah, a bunch of super chats. Thanks you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Matching carpet, very gracious of you. Hashtag together at home. Wife wasn't impressed by Tiger King. What? Not impressed by Tiger King. That's not the first time I've heard that. Tiger King is quite the divisive show. Casey and I really liked it, but talking to our friends, it's been a real divisive show. Might have even caused some arguments here and there and it's crazy. I'm interested to know. I literally want to know what everyone thinks of Tiger King. Zach, very gracious of you. I know who you are. You're Pizza Beard. It's Tuesday, which means that it is Bro Day. Tuesday, bro. I should change the name of Tuesday Bro Tuesday to Tuesday Bro Tuesday, bro. Is that too much? That's too many bros. That's too broy. The Voorhees Files, very gracious of you. My other number one Kiss fan in the world. Finally, it is Tuesday. Yo to ya. Absolutely, Voorhees Files. Appreciate that. How about a high five this time? Don't leave me hanging. Andy, very gracious of you. Freaking fist bump. Damn right. Yes, Mike, that's the saying. You catch more flies with honey. And that's all we're at. That's all I'm asking for. I think that's what we should do. It's real easy. Like, anger is like the default position for a lot of things that happen and that I read, and it's like, oh, here's this anti-vaping article that doesn't really mention any studies. It's kind of just based on nothing, and it's just some garbage, nonsensy article to scare people from vaping. My default reaction is just mad. I'm mad now. Just, hey, whoa, mad, instant mad. And that can't always be the default position because A, being that angry all the time just takes energy. It just takes energy out of me that I don't have. And I don't want to waste my energy being mad all the time. It just drains you. And psychologically, it's just not healthy like that to be mad all the time. And I found myself falling into this like mad all the time trap where you get so mad all the time that I just felt like I couldn't even do anything productive. I would love to like write a letter to Andrew Cuomo. I would love to like actually write a letter, like a form letter, and send it to the Surgeon General. But I just get so mad that I just want to yell obscenities at their faces. you know? So I'm trying to not be mad. I'm trying to be less mad. Just let it roll off you. Just let it roll off you. And then approach the situation with a little bit of positivity, man, and a little bit of like knowledge, education. You attract more flies with honey. You catch more flies with honey, Mike. I appreciate that. Elizabeth, very gracious of you. My husband and I have been off the icky sticks for 7 years, thanks to vaping, both working at vape shops now. What's the weirdest juice you've ever tried? Oh, Elizabeth, let me tell you. First of all, congratulations. 7 years. That's awesome. Let me give you a fist bump right there. Both working at vape shops. Apart from a few weeks ago in the vlog, we had Tokyo Green Bean. That's a weird flavor. The mung bean I tried was probably the weirdest flavor. No, the weirdest flavor I think is reserved. You'd have to go way back in my YouTube. I would challenge somebody to find it. Go way back on my YouTube. There's a ginseng e-liquid review. There it is. That's, Elizabeth, that is the single weirdest juice that I've ever tried. It was like vaping medicine, like medicinal celery. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever had. Chasing Clouds and Flavor Reviews, very gracious of you. Still working and could be making what? Still working and could be making in quarantine. Still working and could be making in quarantine? You're still working, but you could be in quarantine? Did you type that weird or am I reading that weird? I'm leaning towards the latter. Either way, very gracious of you, Chasing Clouds. I appreciate that. Ranger Man, my lungs and O2 stats are much better now that I vape than they were when I smoked. Technically, yes, but so what? And that's, first of all, congratulations. That's awesome. I would not expect anything less. I would not expect anything less. If you're a smoker and you're a vapor, yep, all that's getting better. Your health is vastly improved almost instantaneously, and it will only get better as time goes on, the less you smoke and the more you vape. So that, awesome. Not super surprised, awesome. The whole technically yes, that just infuriates me. That's one of those things that infuriates me. And I don't want to stay mad at Andrew Cuomo over that one thing. I can't discredit Cuomo for just that one thing. And we're going to get to this, but I just really wish he hadn't said that. I just really wish he hadn't said that. But so what? And he was so like smarmy and cocky about it. He even, is vaping better than smoking? Technically, yes. Technically, yes, but so what? Unacceptable when you're talking about public health. Could you imagine Cuomo, and he wouldn't do this, of course not, only about vaping. Could you imagine if he did that about, COVID? What if he was on a press conference and he said, the reporter stands up, Andrew Cuomo, NBC News here. I heard you're running low on respirators and you're going to need more respirators. And he got up there and went, is more respirators better than less? Technically, yes. But so what? Probably the worst example possible. Only acceptable in that sentence, and not acceptable by vapors in that sentence, but acceptable by other people. There were other people watching that press conference, listening to Cuomo going, yep, so what? I don't care if they are better. Technically, who cares? Technically, who gives a damn? Technically, that looks too much like smoking, so I'm going to be mad at it. He didn't help the situation at that point. Dick Roller, look, Dick Roller's back. Very gracious of you, Dick. It's after midnight here in Romania, but I won't let this deployment keep me from getting my Nick fix. Nick fix. Hey, Dick Roller, seriously, anytime, man. I'm here for you. Bump that fist. A few more times because you're in Romania. Ranger Man, yes, very gracious of you. Governor Whitmer can't understand normal thinking. Yeah, Governor Whitmer doesn't. here's the thing. I know that Governor Whitmer and Andrew Cuomo and Jay Inslee and Charlie Baker, and I know they're not dumb people. They're not dumb. They're just ignorant. And I'm not saying that as like an insult, like, oh, hey, you're just ignorant. I don't mean it like that. I mean it as they're literally ignorant to the subject of vaping. And it seems like after this long of vaping being around in the United States, 10 years plus now, you think that they would have tried or at least made a little bit of effort to do a slight deep dive into vaping to kind of, see what it's all about. And I'm not talking about like, get on YouTube and watch some Rip Tripper videos, although that might benefit. But I mean, like, really dig into the science. Royal College of Physicians. What was the original report called? Tobacco harm reduction. Nicotine without smoke. Report on tobacco harm reduction. Legendary. Have you read it? It's not a page turner, but a lot of good information in there. Sorry, I just keep dripping on this and I have to vape it out eventually. Could be my dying batteries. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. It just seems like they're not willing to learn, and that is, I think, the most frustrating part of all of this is seeing short-sighted governors making these knee-jerk reactions and ban vaping, ban nicotine vaping. And then we're just kind of standing there going, it doesn't have any, what are you talking about? It has nothing, this doesn't have, no, ban nicotine vaping, all those flavors, and they appeal to kids, and we're like, well, but the data says that the kids aren't really vaping, and those that were smokers to, no. Youth epidemic, that's all there is. Ban it, ban vaping, ban it, you better ban it. Ban vaping, lung injuries, ban it. And you kind of go, what just happened? What just happened? You can't possibly be that ignorant to vaping. I mean, it's been around for like a decade already. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. That's crazy to me. That's like, and I mean, I get it. 10 years isn't a great deal of time. 10 years, for all intents and purposes, learn not to overdrip. Now I'm trying. Dude, I've been learning for 10 years how not to overdrip. I still haven't learned. You got me completely off track there. Hectic energy. Unbelievable. They're just not willing to learn. And we want to try to get them to learn. And vaping, it's only 10 years old. It is more or less in its infancy, as it were, as industries go. But could you imagine, like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I love a good analogy. I love it. I love a good analogy, but I'm really bad at them. I'm really bad at analogies, so I'm just not going to try. I was trying to think of something. It'd be like someone being ignorant to Uber. Right? Uber. Politician wants to ban Uber. No, it's hurting the taxi cab industry. It's an intrusive industry. It's hurting the taxi cabs. Status quo of taxi cabs. Ban it. It's like Uber's been around a long time. If you're not hip to Uber, then it's like you have to be kind of hip to vaping. You can't just have, I find it almost unbelievable that Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Charlie Baker and Jay Inslee and the Surgeon General really only have this very surface level of understanding. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Danielle Jones. This country has a hard time with the concept of harm reduction in general. That's one of the, harm reduction is the point that we have to drive home, but I find it really hard to believe that they don't have an idea of harm reduction. But I find it even harder to believe, maybe not even harder, but I find it also very difficult to believe that they have only this very surface level of vaping, in that it seems that they know that vaping exists and that's about it. They listen to whoever is in their ear about the youth are vaping, flavors. The youth are attracted to the flavors. It doesn't help adults quit smoking. I've been hearing that for years. Doesn't even help. Doesn't even help you quit. Unless you use the New England Journal of Medicine, then it does. Our puritanical roots tell us we should just tell everyone what to do instead. Yeah, that's how it seems to go. I mean, that's what Bloomberg wants to do. He just wants to tell everybody what to do. Seems like all politicians, that's all they want to do is just tell people what to do. I'm too high up right now. There we go. Yeah, so much better. Anyway, appreciate it. I promise we're going to end up talking about Cuomo at some point. I don't know if we have a full story time with GrimmGreen, but we are going to talk about Cuomo a little bit. Ian Thomas, yes, from the chat. It's more like vaccinations save lives. Technically, yes, but so what? Yeah, that is a much better analogy. I need an official analogy writer. I need an official analogy writer. Mike Ohms, very gracious of you. It seems like our government can't get with any other country and work together to fix things because we are too proud and we think we are better and smarter than other countries. It's sad. Very, very much so. Very, very much so. If there's one thing that our politicians love being, it's important. And not just important, but arrogant about their level of importance and how fantastically arrogant this country is. And it's true. I mean, it's 100% true. We were offered help, which I believe. Look, I don't want to go just shooting off the cuff here. There's so much news happening, that you'll just read something and you could even forget where it even came from or who wrote it or what newspaper it was in or anything. You're like, was that from the Wall Street Journal? Did I find it on Twitter or was it from here on Facebook? Or did I hear that on CNN or did I hear that on Fox News or did I see that on the Fox News Twitter? Or did I hear that from Phil DeFranco because he heard it from Esquire who, there's just new, and you can never remember. So yeah, here's what I heard. Here, hang on. I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna fact check myself right in the middle of this. Fact checking. Snopes. Great place to go, right? Snopes. Oh, so it turns out this is a mixture of truth and non-truth. Did the U.S. refuse COVID-19 testing kits from the World Health Organization? The U.S. did not use COVID-19 diagnostic tests produced by the World Health Organization in favor of producing its own. That's what's true. What's false is the U.S. did not turn down an offer to use those tests. No such offer was extended, nor was it, okay, maybe that's not exactly what I'm looking for. What I read was that North Korea, South Korea wanted to give us supplies, and we said no. We said, no, thank you. We're America. We can do this ourselves. We're going to make our own test kits, and we're going to make our own masks, and we're going to lead the way, and we're going to lead the globe, change the world, and America, freedom, and we're going to do it ourselves. And we don't need your freaking help. It's okay to ask for help. I ask for help constantly. I've asked for help from Casey today probably half a dozen times already. There's no shame in swallowing your pride just a little bit, accepting help. Just accept the help. Just accept it. But it does seem like that's what's going on, Mike. It does. Andy, very gracious of you. Grimm, start selling 3 packs of seashells. 3 packs of seashells? Look, if I had seashells, I could sell them. I could sell 3 packs of 3D printed dicks. That's all I have. This one's clear. Should I leave one out on my desk? No, maybe not right now. Southern Comfort, very gracious of you. Grimm doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. Wait, is this like a SpongeBob reference? I do not know how to use the 3 seashells. What is the 3 seashells? Someone get me hip to the 3 seashells thing. Come on, please. Someone help me out here. See, I'm asking for help. I'm drowning. I'm flailing around in the water and I don't know what's going on. Light Bearer, we'll get back to the 3 seashells. Light Bearer, very gracious of you. Nick, unproductive anger or holding a grudge that makes you upset is like slapping yourself and expecting the other person to feel the pain. Yes. Whoa. Blown. Yes. And it's just not good. It eats at you. You know, holding on to that anger, that grudge, unproductive anger, it adds to your anxiety. It's just not good for you. It eats at you. Judge Dredd. Someone's saying Sly Stallone, Judge Dredd, Demolition Man. Demolition Man? Look, 3 seashells, you can't blame me. That kind of sounds like a SpongeBob reference. And with the popularity of SpongeBob Mr. SquarePants right now on the interwebs, I mean, if the memes are anything to go by, he's quite the popular guy. I've never watched it. It's whatever. 3 seashells, cleansing your butt. It's a Demolition Man reference. Okay, now we're getting to the bottom of this. Demolition Man. Well, it's probably been 20 plus years since I've seen Demolition Man. Oh, 3 seashells replaced toilet paper. Oh, all right. Dang. Aren't jokes just extra funny when you have to explain it to the guy that doesn't get it? You're just like, sell 3 seashells. I'm just, I don't get it. What's that from, you guys? What's that from? Demolition Man. All right. Well, we'll add it to the list. Casey and I have a running list of movies that we're going to watch, and I'll add Demolition to it. I think The Rock is on it. The Joker is on it. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 are on it. I just kept dripping. Just freaking kept dripping. I just kept dripping. I'm just going to... I dumped this over in my trash can and it literally like poured e-liquid out of it. I had just been dripping and dripping for like 10 solid minutes and without vaping it. And that's good. That's what you want to do. Yes, thank you very much, Light Bear. New Wave Dave, very gracious of you. Bro, Roadrunner United. Am I right? So right. 800% right. That is a banger from beginning to end. Roadrunner United. I like it a lot. New Wave Dave. Thank you. Thank you for that musical recommendation. Logan Exhales. That's very gracious of you, man. I appreciate that. New York State votes tomorrow on a must-pass budget that includes a flavor ban. We need everyone to call and write. CASAA can help everyone reach out. As a New Yorker, I know that we do not go down without a fight. So they're voting tomorrow. If anybody has a link, either Danielle Jones maybe has a link. I was thinking in there she might have a link, or Addie Tooney. If Addie Tooney has a link, we're going to throw that in the description or in the chat right there, so we can get that in the chat. And I'm going to put it in the description of this video as well. The CASAA call to action for New York tomorrow, and eventually when we do get to Cuomo, we're gonna talk about that, because he had talked about this flavor ban, and he had talked about, is this flavor ban included with his cigarette ban? Because that's also a thing that's going to happen. He's going to ban cigarettes for 2 weeks. Cuomo is. See, news. More news has come out since I started this video in the last 45 minutes. The news has already changed. News cycle's already changed. Good Lord. There you go. Well, when there's not a 2 liters soda's worth of e-liquid in your atomizer, they actually vape pretty well. And it's not like a slurpy mess, spitting hot embers of e-liquid into your mouth. All right. Chasing clouds and flavor. Let's try again. I could make more money in quarantine. Yeah. Look, there's money to be made in quarantine. There is money to be made in quarantine. 100%. 8,000%. There are needs of the market, and they are going to be met by people in quarantine. We need entertainment, right? Big Zoom room hangouts. I don't know. There's ways to make money. I don't know. You can't make money from a Zoom room hangout. Not really. Unless you charged everybody like a velvet rope fee. Like to get into the Zoom room, $10 a head. Ladies' night, half price. Joe Rogan said he thinks Cuomo should. Here's the thing. Joe Rogan's kind of a smart man. I have gained, and look, I know Cuomo, he backed out of the cigarette ban. What the hell? Are you kidding me, Cuomo? God, I was going to say so many nice things about him. He's been stepping up. Like, I'm legitimately impressed with his leadership ability and with the way that he is really controlling his state and the way that he is really going against the federal government, basically calling out the Trump administration, saying, what the hell? Like, this is not good enough nearly at all. He is really doing a lot of good in his state. Yeah, his poor brother, Chris Cuomo, from MSNBC, or what is he on? CNN, MSNBC? I can't remember. He's got it. Shed Time and SpongeBob, trust me, good times. All right, well, shoot, maybe we'll get into it. Speaking of Shed Time, I'm going to be streaming on my Instagram account today at 4:20 p.m., and I hope everybody knows what that means by now. But that's where I'm going to be streaming, 4:20 p.m. on Instagram. I can't believe... Can you, Deanna, do you have a link to say that he backed out of the cigarette ban? I was going to skim through something in a little bit, if we have some time, talking about the cigarette ban, and I hang on. We're going to get there when we get there, but if you have a link, I would very much appreciate that. Jake, 3 seashells, Demolition Man reference, face palm. I know. I'm sorry, Jake. I know. Look, you don't have to do super chats just to rag on me some more. Just kidding. Southern Comfort. SpongeBob, what the fuck? Demolition Man. All right. Look, I'm adding I didn't realize we had so many Demolition Man fans in the house today. It's just crazy. I'm going to watch it. I promise. I'm going to watch it. Zach, very gracious of you, bought a bottle of Nico last night. It was $70 because Canadian shipping. Going to be so worth it. Wait, what? You spent $70 on a 120 mil of Nico e-liquid? Wow. I really hope you like it. It's delicious, Pizza Beard. It's delicious. Really hope you like it. Cloudy Chats, very, very gracious of you. Body hurts from the workouts my partners got me doing in quarantine. Yeah. Casey Pickle introduced me to her quarantine workout regimen, and it's a little bit of a banger. I mean, it's a tough little workout regimen. I'm impressed. Watching from the home as the shops are closed due to COVID. Got a hot coffee and a dope setup. Thanks for the entertainment. Look, Cloudy Chat, my pleasure. My pleasure. What else am I going to be doing on a Tuesday afternoon? We're all in quarantine. We're going to be streaming. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be streaming today. We're going to be streaming tomorrow again. Wild Card Wednesday. Logan exhales. Don't fall for it. It's all for show. He's using this crisis as a stepping stone for his presidential campaign. Also, as much as we hate cigs, prohibition is never the answer. Yes, I agree with you that prohibition is never the answer, but certainly, Logan, you could agree that there are extenuating circumstances, and the overall health of people is better off without cigarettes, especially during a time when there is a respiratory viral pandemic going on. Certainly, these are extenuating circumstances. I would never advocate for prohibition of cigarettes, literally ever. If it's going to prevent people from ending up in the hospital that might not need to end up in the hospital, maybe we can use some of those respirators for, other more susceptible people and not just smokers. I mean, there's so many different sides to this argument. I kind of agree with Cuomo in saying, hey, let's ban cigarettes for 2 weeks, with the understanding that they'll go back for sale after that time, and that during that time, every New York resident should have unfettered access to any NRT tax-free and any vapor product tax-free. That would be huge for New York. That would actually save lives in New York. And then we can go back to normal, and whoever wants to keep smoking can keep smoking. Whoever wants to vape can keep vaping. and leave it up to that. And this is a weird area for me too, being freedom guy, being libertarian guy. I'm not an unreasonable person. There are extenuating circumstances that have to be considered. I feel possibly even a little bit, for lack of a better term, dangerous to unflinchingly cling to an ideology no matter how detrimental it would be to the current situation, which we have never experienced before. Logan exhales. I don't agree. Okay. See, this is why we have these discussions. People need their vices now more than ever. Yes. Why increase crime during a pandemic? Yes. People will also travel state to state to get them and increase exposure. Oh, God damn it, Logan. You're smart. You bring up a lot of good. You're right. Here's another question that I think is a reasonable question. Yes, I agree with you. Would a cigarette ban in New York, would people even follow it? No. I mean, that's another side of this argument that I didn't really even think about till right now because of you, Logan. Just because it's banned or just because they ban it for 2 weeks, smokers are going to smoke. They're going to get their cigarettes. And they will probably, like you said, travel to another state to get them, possibly increasing the exposure for them and for other people. Logan, if I had a hat on, I'd take my hat off to you. I appreciate that. That's good stuff. Smurfy NJ. Very gracious of you. You didn't say anything. You didn't have to. There you go. I appreciate that. Chip. Very gracious of you. Nick, I'm free from smoking for 4 years. You are my first vape reviewer I found. I'll be around longer for my beautiful daughter because of you. Awesome. Fist bump to you. And yeah, I mean, look, I agree. But what's the solution, Logan exhales? What do? We stop demonizing vaping, right? We just make vaping more readily available and say, the governor should say, look, I'd prefer it, and every healthcare worker in the state of New York would prefer it. The infrastructure would prefer it if you didn't smoke cigarettes. But if you absolutely have to smoke cigarettes or you absolutely have to get nicotine, recommend snus, recommend vaping, recommend any NRTs, tax-free as an incentive for people to stop smoking cigarettes and maybe try out vaping or maybe try out snus or maybe try out some sort of nicotine spray. Vaping isn't a one-size-fits-all thing, and maybe some sort of nicotine spray for Aunt Helen in upstate New York when she can't get her Pall Malls. She's like, oh, this is it's like a berry spray. I love it. I just spray it in my mouth. And then that's all they need. I mean, there's a way to delicately do it to get the maximum return on public health. But unfortunately, vaping is just such a politicized issue that nobody's gonna do that. Welcome, Beecher. Appreciate you, Beecher. Andy, very gracious of you. Demolition Man isn't great. It's a cult classic, which I guess makes it great. That is absolutely true. It's 100% true. There's tons of movies that aren't great. Look, Rad, North Shore. There's a ton of old movies that aren't great, but it's classic, which makes it great. Showgirls, for instance. British Eyes Only. Nico is amazing. I may have tried it before you did because Rescued decided to sponsor me for some reason. I don't mean to blow my own horn here, but yeah, I'm British Eyes and Rescued. It's whatever, They definitely sponsored me for some reason. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's great. It's unbelievable. I'm glad you like it. It does kind of remind me of that 100 grand. The 100 grand had a little bit more sort of coffee flavor to it. Coffee. I don't know why I did that in like a George Bush Southern accent. That was weird. Southern Comfort, very gracious of you. Change the name of Wildcard Wednesday to Womb with a View Wednesday in memory of Dave Brocky. I could. It just doesn't, it doesn't kind of have that it doesn't just roll off the tongue so well is Womb with a View Wednesday, because as great as that song is, Womb with a View, I feel like maybe it doesn't represent exactly like what GrimmGreen is going for on the internet, or even what the Wildcard Wednesday show is about. I think I might just get Guar fans and they would just show up and be pissed off. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. Anthony, very gracious of you. Stay safe out there. Much love from Canada. Keep up the good work, my friends. Anthony, that's very gracious of you. Really very much appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. So, dude, we got to the bottom of the super chats there. So I have like 8,000 tabs open. And let me get to the one that I really wanted to talk about. So the thing that I was skimming through previously is there was supposed to be a press conference yesterday on Monday that Cuomo was supposed to be talking about the cigarette ban as well as something about vaping. And I didn't see anything about it. I didn't hear or see anything about it. I went and, Casey found me the transcript for this. Yeah, God, what an awful racket. Nobody knows if that's really what it means, though. Sorry, we got back off track onto Guar. Nobody knows if that's really what it means, though. And I know that we're mad at Governor Cuomo, and we're angry at the things he has said. Maybe not necessarily him. And here's the thing. I can't be so cynical that I think that Cuomo is using being governor during a pandemic to leverage himself into some sort of presidential run. Maybe he is going to get into some sort of presidential run, but I can't be so cynical to think that he's using this. I get the feeling from Cuomo that he legitimately just wants to do right by his state. I legitimately think he just wants what is best for his state. He's unsatisfied with the way the federal government's been handling it. He's been calling people out, and he's been getting stuff done. New York has that big military boat in their harbor. Los Angeles has one too in our harbor that is literally a floating hospital for everybody that's not suffering from COVID, that for everybody that hasn't contracted COVID. So you get in a car accident, you break your leg, you go to the floating hospital in the ocean. That alone is just a weird, bizarre thing that you would have never, ever even thought of ever happening. I think he's doing really good things in New York. I legitimately really do. He's been having daily press conferences, and he's all business all the time. All business all the time. And I looked through his entire transcript of this press conference. In fact, here, we can find this. Let's look for... No, there's not one mention of smoking. Nope, not one mention of vaping. Not one mention of smoking and not one mention of vaping. The other Cuomo-related article, and we're going to get back to those super chats in a second. The other Cuomo-related article that I had found was from the Buffalo Chronicle, and the big headline on it here. Let me try to show you guys this. Can I zoom in? No, zoom in on this. Gonna zoom in on this? You gonna let me zoom in on this? You're really not? That's messed up. Whoa. Wow. That's really messed up, man. Anyway, here's the big headline on it. It says, Cuomo may delay restrictions on e-vapors to accommodate 6-week ban on cigarette sales. This was just not that long ago. March 28th. What is that, a few days ago? What's the date today? The 30th? The 31st? What the heck? 30th. Yeah, so this was on Saturday. Cuomo may delay restrictions on e-vapors. Terrible terminology. There's no reason in this time, in this day and age, to use the term e-vapors. Just ridiculous. I almost feel like that's purposeful. It's like, let's use the wrong terminology on purpose. But I know I know that he had been considering, look at this, temporary 6-week ban on combustible tobacco cigarettes, expected to be announced Monday morning. This is the press conference from Monday morning, the transcript, and there's no mention of either of any of them. This regulation would have made it harder for smokers to access electronic alternatives to combustible cigarettes ahead of the state's devastating COVID-19 crisis, which is expected to take a particularly harsh toll on smokers. So I don't know what's going on in New York. I thought I had a pretty clear view of what was going on in New York, and then suddenly that all changed today because now Cuomo is not delaying the restrictions on vaping. He's still pushing forward the ban on vaping in New York, and now he's backtracking on a 6-week cigarette sales ban. So now he's not going to have a cigarette sales ban, and we are moving forward with the restrictions. Or now we're not moving forward with the restrictions, and we're not moving forward with a cigarette ban. There's one other thing in here. Cuomo also considering the suspension of sales tax on nicotine patches and lozenges and plans to ask executives at Altria to significantly reduce the price on those products for the same 6-week period. One other thing he could do that would really look, Cuomo, I know you said vaping, is it better than smoking? Technically, yes, but so what? You could also, and this would be great for your state, you could also ask Altria to reduce the prices on Juul and help even more smokers. Even more smokers. As we've learned in the past, and I have a video hopefully going up later tomorrow, definitely tomorrow, about me and vaping and being a libertarian. We do talk about this. NRTs have a very low success rate. We know this, around 5% success rate with NRTs, about the same as cold turkey. Vaping was proven to be more than twice as effective as any NRT on the market at smoking cessation. One more quick call to Juul, Governor Cuomo. One more quick call to Juul. And I mean, so many smokers would grab a Juul and instantly quit smoking. If Cuomo, and I keep saying his name wrong and I don't mean to. I know in the past I mispronounced his name on purpose, but now I'm really not trying to mispronounce his name. I'm actually trying to pronounce it correctly. Cuomo. One more quick call, Cuomo. Quick call, Cuomo. One more quick call, Cuomo, to Altria. Juuls. He could use this opportunity. I mean, if he really wanted to, you could damn near end smoking in New York State. You could damn near end smoking in every state if you encourage smokers who are more susceptible to COVID-19 infections to switch to less harmful vapor products. Good Lord. Not only are you helping, at-risk people more susceptible to COVID-19. Not only are you helping their health, but you're getting them off of cigarettes. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what vaping could do right now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So apparently he's not, and he was going to do this, or he might still be doing this. I don't know the news. The news has already changed since I've started broadcasting. He's citing in Italy, they came to the conclusion that there was a lot more people getting COVID in Italy because of so many smokers in Italy. And it was disproportionately affected men rather than women, simply because more men in Italy smoked cigarettes. Those cigarette smokers in Italy, that's one of the reasons why Italy had the highest cases of COVID in the world. And it was because of the smokers. And so Cuomo was basically looking at that, looking at the smokers in his state. Instead of coming to the more rational conclusion that they did in Italy, which is to exempt vape shops from shutting down, We can thank Dr. Ricardo Pelosa for that, for allowing vape shops to be open during this COVID-19 quarantine. Vape shops. Vape shops are necessity in Italy. They should be a necessity in New York State. So many people are going to quit smoking, and we're going to protect people who are more susceptible to this. I mean, it's win, 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 win. Win, 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 win all around. 800%. They do mention, I'm going to put this in the description of this video, but they also kind of gloss over the EVALI kind of stuff, and they don't get everything right in this. They don't get a lot of the stuff right in this, but they try their best. They go over EVALI. I don't know what Cuomo's doing. I don't know if he's going to ban cigarettes for 6 weeks. I don't know if he's going to continue banning vaping. Yeah, see, this is the paragraph I was looking for. This is the plan. This is what I was trying to get over. This is what I was trying to say to you, Logan Exhales. But think of the children. This is what I was trying to think of you, Logan Exhales. This will save lives. He's talking about if he enacts a smoking ban, which I'm a little turned around on the subject now of a smoking ban. But I think if there was a smoking ban and they made vapor products much more readily available everywhere you could pick up a pack of Marlboro Reds and even had it delivered, curbside pickup, whatever, online orders, I think it would be a great thing. But now I'm kind of turned around on the subject. I don't agree with a cigarette smoking ban. I think the unintended consequences that Logan Exhales so nicely laid out for me, I think the unintended consequences are not going to be worth the possible public health reward of it. This will save lives. Again, talking about the smoking ban. This will save lives, and not just the lives of smoker. The governor plans to say every former smoker that gets sick but does not need a ventilator means one more ventilator is available to keep our aging parents and grandparents alive. And I think that is an excellent, excellent point. If you can get smokers vaping and then they maybe get sick, and then maybe because they switch to less harmful vapor products, and maybe they don't need that ventilator, which means that ventilator could go to somebody else that might need it a lot more. Sure. I agree with that. I agree with that. It means one more ventilator to keep our aging parents and grandparents alive. Smoking ban's not a good idea. That's where I'm landing on this. And I'm all turned around on the subject. And the thing is, here, I'm going to try to find this. Okay, so this is way off topic. But I'm going to put a change.org petition in the chat and in the description of this video. Oh, no, I can't put it in the chat. Never mind. It's just going in the description of this video. I'm not a huge fan of petitions, but we're all at home, so we might as well all sign a petition. I don't know if it's going to do much for the people of Texas, but there's a petition for Texas on change.org to classify vape shops as essential businesses. It exists. It's out there. I'm going to put it in the description of this video. I'm not able to get it into the chat because it goes against the YouTube character limit of what you can put in the chat. So I'm going to put that in the description. I'm trying to find Oh, I'm so angry. I just had it. I just had the article. It was from the American Vaping Association, I believe. Cuomo petition. Damn it. I lost it. It was an advocate. It was a vape advocate in New York who was urging Cuomo. Why can't I find this? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I lost the tab. The tab is gone. The problem with me and my computer is I just get carried away and I start opening tabs, and I'll have like 5 instances of Chrome running. And then each instance of Chrome has like 12 different tabs in it. And some of the tabs are like duplicates, and I'm just bad at organizing stuff. And I had a great link that was it was a vape advocate that was urging Cuomo to ban cigarettes. It was a vape advocate urging Cuomo to ban cigarettes, and I don't have the mother trucking link anymore. I'm sorry. I was going to end this on a real humdinger. It was a quick little read, and it was, why can't I find this? Upsetting me. I've looked through every tab. I've looked through every instance of Chrome. Oh, wait. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I did. I now have. Well, shit. So I guess that's where we're going to leave Cuomo. I think what I would suggest Cuomo to do. Now, Cuomo, if you're watching this, tinyurl.com. Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't want to do that right now. Come on, man. No, come on, man. Yeah, and I agree with you, an advocate for liberty. And I completely agree with you. Liberty is freedom to do what we choose as a vice. No government should be in control of our choice. Let it be vape or cigarettes. Yes, of course. That is one of those things that goes without saying. I also believe that the government shouldn't be able to tell me that I have to stay in my own house. No, fuck that. Fuck the state. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to drive my car. There are extenuating circumstances. You cannot just blindly cling to an ideology in the face of a global pandemic. There are extenuating circumstances. You have to be a little bit less rigid with things like this. And I agree, no government should be able to control what you put in your body. Your choice, be it vapor, be it cigarettes, that's fine. But on the same side of the same coin, if your actions are harming me, then that's not okay. And that's the libertarian point of view. You can go do your thing as long as it's not affecting me, as long as it's not affecting me or my freedoms or my liberties. But what if it does? What if there are smokers, like Cuomo pointed out, what if there's a smoker who gets COVID, who because he's a smoker needs a ventilator, and that's one less ventilator for a non-smoker who might be an elderly person who doesn't have a ventilator now because the guy that made bad decisions needs his ventilator. There are extenuating circumstances, and your decisions affect other people. Other people. We have to look outside of ourselves, outside of the self, the individual. Just in times like this, the rest of the time, look, personal property, privacy, give it to me. Give it to me all. And I believe in liberty. You will not find a bigger cheerleader for liberty than you will find in me. I mean, maybe you will. You probably could. All smokers are still human. Absolutely. But here's what I'm saying, Logan. I'm not saying that smokers aren't human. I'm not saying that anything, I'm not coming down on smokers. There is a finite amount of resources, very finite amount of resources. And if someone who is a smoker contracts COVID and is still smoking and they contract COVID, they're going to need a ventilator, they're going to need a respirator, they're going to need a hospital bed. These are finite resources. If that smoker was vaping, snus, spray, gum, patch, whatever, then that changes everything. Not only does that help that person and that smoker live a better, healthier life, but it frees up the very finite resources that are available. Very incredibly finite resources that are available. And there's just people that are just living their lives, and you might be 74, 75 years old. You might have been a smoker when you're a teenager. You have a little bit of impaired lung function, but overall you're in pretty good health. You get COVID. You got to go to the hospital. Oh, no respirators. Sorry, the smoker needed one. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's what I'm here to do. Here to play devil's advocate, baby. Let's think in different ways. But the effects of smoking take years to recover from. Yes, you're correct about that. You're correct about that, Danielle Jones. But, I mean, on the other hand, there are instant and immediate effects to quitting smoking in as little as 2 weeks. In as little as 2 weeks. And if we're talking about being on quarantine in California, we're here till well into April. April 28th or something is how long we're in California. In other places, they're talking about June. That IMO, weeks, that is enough to reverse some of the effects to smoking. I think that could, I mean, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician. Will that make the difference between getting COVID and having it destroy you, or getting COVID and being able to endure it, of whether or not you were smoking 3 or 4 weeks earlier? Could. But but banning's not going to help. You're right. Banning isn't going to help. Banning's not going to do anything. Smokers are going to smoke. We've been over that. Bans are not a solution. Alcohol ban's not a solution. Cigarette smoking ban isn't a solution. I agree. I would be disappointed if there was a cigarette ban. My concern is that the already anxiety-riddled public that smokes could not be able to handle the stress of forced prohibition. Yeah, 100% I agree. I'm all turned around on the subject. You guys have changed my minds. Danielle Jones, an advocate for liberty, and Logan Exhales have changed my mind, changed my thought pattern on this very topic. Forced prohibition for people that rely on the nicotine to calm them. Same thing with alcohol. I'm overjoyed that it is an exempt, industry. Cigarettes, sure, still have cigarettes, but now is the time when people like Cuomo, people like Whitmer, people like Jerome Adams, people like Stephen Hahn, people like Trump should be encouraging everybody to vape. You will only have a net benefit to public health on both fronts, smoking and COVID. It will be better for both. It will be better for everybody involved. Really, I just want people vaping. So no smoking bans. I was shocked to see that Cuomo was going to do that, but I kind of wanted to see it happen. I wanted to kind of go, wow, he did it. He did it. He banned cigarettes. I mean, that would be an unprecedented move. No, I know. Am I a flip-flopper? No, I'm not a flip-flopper, but I do what everybody should do, and that is change your opinion based on new data and new evidence. That's what everybody should do. I like being proven wrong because that means now I have more information. Now that means I'm right. And if I'm right, and you can be right for years, and then new data can come up, new science, new information, you change your opinion based on available data. They had me look at it a way that I wasn't even thinking about looking at it. This virus will definitely teach us who is selfish or who are considering everyone else's, especially the elderly and people with underlying health issues. I believe in freedom as well. Exactly. And I believe in freedom so much that I'm staying home. That's how much I believe in freedom. All right, well, we're gonna wind down this wicked. Maybe on recoilrda.com there might be some Grimm kits available. I'm not 100% sure. We had a kind of a falling out with Hell Vape. It's fine. It's whatever. It's taken care of. Water under the bridge, right? Just never gonna work with Hell Vape ever again. Vape and Case, congratulations. We're gonna go ahead and wind this vlog down. So Cuomo, I want him to do good. I think he's doing good. I wish he didn't say such dumb things in the past. And I would really, really like to see him flip-flop on this. I don't know why flip-flopping is different from changing your mind. Flip-flopping would be after this stream if I went back and did a video and was like, no, now I am back to my original position. Logan Exhales did not convince me well enough. I know I said I changed my mind, but I'm changing it back. That's flip-flopping. Changing your opinion on something based on data, that's just learning. That's just growing. And there's no shame in that. And I would respect Cuomo 100 times more, 1,000 times more. Could you imagine if he just got up there and went, is vaping better than smoking? Technically, yes. That's why we're encouraging every New York citizen to go to a vape shop and switch to vaping as soon as you possibly can. I didn't have all the information before. I have all the information now. Could you imagine that? No one would go, oh, I can't believe he's flip-flopping. I would respect the fuck out of him. I'd be like, wow, someone that can admit when they were wrong because of new data, new evidence, new information. They've changed their opinion to a much more reasonable, science-based view. Kudos. Kudos to that. Kudos. You can do it, Cuomo. I believe in you, and I want to see you do it. I really do. You never stop learning. I really want to see Cuomo do it. Grimm wears flip-flops under his desk. No, I don't. Shut up. I'm just kidding. Let's do the last of these. Are there any super chats left? If you don't super chat, you don't have to jump in now because I wanted to tell you a story about Kent real quickly as we finish up this Tuesday, bro. Tuesday. Andrew Cook. Oh, Andy, damn it. Not another super chat. Was that an accidental super chat? I'll take it. Anthony, very gracious. Stay safe out there. Much love from Canada. Read that, Anthony. Nick, very gracious of you. Been helping me on my vape journey since 2014. Awesome. Awesome. I'm happy to have done that. Can finally say 1 year cigarette free, watching with my girlfriend for the first time. Shout out. Of course, we're shouting out Nick's girlfriend who shall remain nameless forever, other than just Nick's girlfriend. And that's it. That's fine. Andy, not another super chat, accidental super chat. Andrew, very gracious of you. I will keep it up. That's kind of all I know how to do. Chunky Poo Slide, very gracious of you. I hope he slips in a Chunky Poo Slide. Yeah. Maybe if he slips I would be in support of Cuomo slipping on a Chunky Poo Slide if at the bottom of the Chunky Poo Slide waiting for him was like Greg Conley, like Greg Conley standing down there with like the Royal College of Physicians report, just standing there at the bottom for him. Then Chunky Poo Slide away. Andy, very gracious of you. Dead on. Just because someone thinks the country should be different doesn't automatically anti-American. Yes. That's the thing. I am an American. I love this country. I'm a patriot. I went to Washington, D.C. and had some profound patriotic moments. I'm a big fan of this country. Change is good. Just because something is different doesn't mean it's automatically anti-American. Don't ban, educate on dangers and alternatives. Fran, I could not agree with you more. Fran. Thank you. That's very gracious of you. Ranger Man, New Hampshire vape shops are open with proper social distancing protocols in place. Why can't other states do this? Because other states banned nicotine vaping already because of vitamin E acetate. That's why. That's why. California, I would be, if Gavin Newsom came on the news and did a press conference and announced that vape shops were going to remain open and they were exempt as a necessary industry, I don't know what I would do. I would put my head on the train tracks and trying to wake up from Inception or something. I would not think that this is real reality. I would think we were on a different planet. I would think we were inside some sort of simulation, inside a simulation, inside a simulation. It would be crazy. British Eyes, how dare you choose a less harmful vapor product? I know. The audacity, the gall. Fran, very gracious of you. Here in the UK, I asked the lady at the supermarket checkout if they had any toilet roll. She said no. That was an embarrassing walk back to the toilet with my jeans around my ankles. Oh, I'm not going to lie, man. You had me going there at the beginning. That's a good one. That was really good, Fran. Lastly, certainly not leastly, Chunky Poo Slide, very gracious of you. Oh, God, Nick poops naked. Come on. Someone had to say it, right? Someone had to say it. Southern Comfort, Cuomo is a direct lung vapor. He would be. He would be a direct lung vapor. He'd be a cloud chaser. What's this, Phyllis? Phil? I can't see GrimmGreen's coronavirus warning post anymore. Do you think he's now going to send us all a letter? What? 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 Here, okay, let me look at end this Tuesday, Bro Tuesday. Let's just calm down. We had a lot of fun. We're trying to be more positive. You know, we're going to come at Governor Cuomo on Twitter and around other places with maybe a little bit more kindness. Just trying to be a little bit more kind. You know, tensions are high right now. We're all at home. Everybody's packed at home with their families and just people you don't want to be around all the time. Tensions are high. We're just trying to chill. We're just trying to relax. I'm trying to not make my homework for myself. My self-improvement homework is I'm trying to make my initial reaction to things that upset me not be just white anger, just white hot rage. I'm trying to not be that person. I can't have any more rage sweat. It's not doing anything for my stress levels. It's not doing anything for my blood pressure. It's not doing anything for my anxiety. So I'm trying to control my reactions, and I'm trying to come at people with a little bit more kindness. And I think that Cuomo could come around on the subject. I feel like with everything going on, if Cuomo came out in favor of vaping and encouraged New York citizens to vape, vaping would rebound in the United States like you could never imagine. It would be all it needed. Just one big push from one big governor. That's all we need. That's all we need. Okay, here we go. Last 2 minutes. Who's ready for a story about Kent? Now, I've built it up so much. It's really not that good of a story. It's really not that good of a story. Thank you, an advocate for liberty. I am happy that you and your family are healthy and safe as well. This is the way. We all need to stay safe. We all need to calm down. Let's just remember, wash our hands. Don't touch your face. Social distancing. Onward. Onward together into 2020. Bogan's coming out with a mouth-to-lung tank. What the crap? Whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Okay, real quickly, let me tell you this Kent story. And maybe I just find this funny because Kent's my friend, but he always, I don't want to say always, but he gave me a hard time a lot of times about having so many setups, He gave a lot of people a lot of hard times. Not necessarily a hard time, but he just thought it was really bizarre that people had more than like one setup. He always said, well, I guess Nick's a reviewer, so he's got to have a lot of setups. But other people, I don't understand why so many people have so many setups. And, he had his one mod and his Twisted Messes RDA. And he's like, I vape Dynamite Fuse. That's all I vape. It's just my vape. It's what I vape. And he's like, that's what he vapes. And I don't want to say that he was like maybe looking down at his nose at anybody, for having multiple setups. But I feel like Kent felt like one setup was really like the best way to vape, one flavor, one setup, one liquid, right? And so I've been Marco Poloing with Kent a lot, and I don't know if you guys are hip to this Marco Polo app, but it's great. You can talk to your friends long distance. It's like a video walkie-talkie. Anyway, Kent and I, Marco Polo, literally, a dozen times every single day. doesn't. I'll probably have a Kent Marco Polo waiting for me on my phone. Should I check? Let's check. See. Kent Marco Polo. Yep. There's one. Just one from Twisted Messes. I can prove it. I have a one Kent Twisted Messes Marco Polo notification. So we Marco Polo back and forth all the time. And, we talk about what, just boring stuff, just regular day-to-day stuff. He's like, oh, turned on my air conditioning today, it was getting warm. It was cool earlier, but then it got real warm, so I decided to turn on my air conditioning. And, I'm Marco Poloing back up. I'm like, well, that's fascinating. It's been real cold. It's just boring stuff. Just boring whatever day-to-day stuff. And he's like, bro, he hits me up. Bro, I'm into multiple setups now. He's like, I never realized how great this could be. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, multiple setups. He's like, look at my countertop. And he's got on his countertop, he's got like 7 mods, all like perfectly spaced out, all with RDAs, all with their bottle of liquid right next to it. He's like, it's so great, dude. He's like, I can go down to my office with one vape, and when I get sick of it, I can come upstairs, switch it out, get a different vape, go back downstairs and have a completely different vape. He's like, this is the best way to vape. I can't believe I've never vaped like this. And I'm like, what? Are you just now learning about variety? Really? I'm like, Kent, welcome to like 2014, bro. Multiple setups. How have you never run multiple setups before? You've never once been like, maybe I'm a little bit tired of Dynamite Fuse. Maybe I want just a bakery flavor for like an hour and then I'll come back to Dynamite Fuse. I couldn't believe he was that far behind the curve. I mean, am I completely wrong here? Don't we all run more than one setup? No? Danielle says she just runs one setup. And look, that's fine. One setup is fine. One setup is fine. Look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 10 on my desk right now. And that's fine. I like variety. I like different liquids. I like going from a restricted lung to a mouth to lung to like a big cloud chasey tank to a sub-ohm tank, back to a mouth to lung, back to the recoil, back to the RTA. Maybe there's a bakery flavor here, fruity flavor here, a menthol flavor over there. Maybe I keep 2 tobaccos over here, and maybe I got a pod with like a fruity flavor, or maybe I got a pod with a bakery flavor, and variety. Danielle rocks one. I've been rocking so many setups for so long that I couldn't believe. It's like Kent came on and was like, bro, have you heard about cars? It's crazy. Dude, you can get anywhere you want to go way faster. I was just been walking this whole time. I feel like we just welcomed Kent into the way that we've all been vaping for the last few months, for the last few years anyway. 2, 3, I never have less than 3. I never have less than 3. Sometimes it gets excessive. Yeah, see, there you go. 6 to 15 setups. 5 to 6 setups for you, Mike. Yeah. Mike, 7 in the office. 13. Kent has, now he's real proud. He's got like 6 or 7 there. 13 setups. I've got more setups. That's ridiculous. I just thought that was hilarious. Coming out of Kent, seeing him be just so excited about realizing that you can run multiple setups. Realizing that you can have more than one mod and one liquid set up at the same time. Completely blew his mind. He is blown away. Anyway, see, I realize that's not a very good story. I built it up so much that now you're like, and? Nope, that's it. Kent, we're just welcoming Kent into the world of multiple setups. That's it. That's a really boring Kent story. That's fine. Yeah, see, I'm the same way, Furry Messiah. I have like no less than 4 or 5 ready to go at any given moment. Maybe more. Anyway, we're here at 3:35. This represents sort of the end of Tuesday, Bro Tuesday here. But I think we're going to be back here streaming tomorrow for Wildcard Wednesday. And literally, I have no idea what the hell we're going to do tomorrow. No idea what we're going to do tomorrow. So I'm going to try to think of something fun. Maybe we'll play a game. Maybe we'll do trivia. Maybe, look, I don't know. Maybe I'll build something. Maybe I won't build something. Maybe I'll try to build an alien. No, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to do something though, because damn it, hashtag together at home. Hashtag we're all in freaking quarantine together. Hashtag let's just stream and hang out and have fun, and stream and hang out and have fun. Can we do that? I feel like we could do that. One last super chat from Chunky Poo Slide. Kent's got that whistly airflow. Ooh, don't let him hear you say that, bro. He's going to be pissed. Pissed. Anyway, that's what I got for today, everybody, here on the Tuesday Bro Tuesday. I'll see you next week for another Tuesday Bro Tuesday. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow for the Wild Card Wednesday. I'll hopefully see you Thursday for another vlog. Holy crap. How am I going to fill all this time? There's so much time and nothing to fill it with. That's what she said. Ayo, Eifer. Okay, one last one from Eifer. How is Papa Green in all of this? He's doing this as good as he possibly can. They're up there in Santa Rosa. They're quarantined, and that's it. And they're just living life and staying home. I talked to him on the phone yesterday. He was doing good. He's just, same frustrations that everybody has. Frustrated with misinformation, frustrated with being home so long, and it's a lot. But he's doing good, Eifer. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. So thank you, guys. I want to give a very special, very big shout out to Danielle Jones, an advocate for liberty, and Logan Exhales for the pretty great discussion today around cigarette bans. I feel like that went really well, and I thank you for changing my mind around on that. Unlike Steven Crowder, my mind can actually be changed. 2 p.m. Wednesday, Nick. Same time as today, but tomorrow. So it's today, but tomorrow. 2 o'clock, but tomorrow. Wednesday. Wildcard Wednesday. Retro stream. Look, if you guys have any ideas, literally anything, just leave it in the comments. Just leave it down in the comments below. Leave it here. I'm going to say this is where I take my leave of you, as they say. But thank you guys, seriously, so much for coming out. Really appreciate it. Love the discussions going on. And we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go in quarantine. We got a long way to go with COVID. We got a long way to go with vaping. And we're going to get there together. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I will be streaming at 4:20 p.m. on my Instagram. And I hope everybody knows what that means by now. But I'll see you over there. Don't forget, no matter what any crooked politician tells you, absolutely, you guys, let's keep on vaping. Be excellent to each other. Peace.